Okay, now let's see how it works. Here, as you saw, we don't put a defined number of dowels or machinings. We calculate it parametrically. So it means that for each panel, so top panel, bottom, partition, stretchers, etc., we can at first select a type of rule.
Okay.
And then according to the rule, we can set up the interaxis, and it will automatically calculate the right part. So let's see the difference. We have this rule, for example, from extreme points. What does it mean? It means that here the lead is for the first and the last one. For example, so at first it will insert this and this. Then every 192 millimeters is going to insert another panel. So let me try one thing. Okay. This and this, then both from this side, then from this side, every 192 millimeters, I will insert another element in the middle, okay?
Okay.
So let's see what was the meaning of this.
Okay.
So it means that from here,
Good.
okay, you see that here, every 192, I can insert another element. So 192, 192, 192, 192, until you see you don't have enough space. Okay? So in that case, if you want, this is not the case, to insert another element in the middle, because you don't have enough space, it will insert, for example, in this case, 940. 100. So it will insert, you see, I don't have enough space to put 192, okay?
Okay.
So I will put one in the middle, which is the minimum interaxis. Because otherwise, you see here,
minimum dimension, okay.
yes, you see that here, for example, if it's not possible, it will put 2. Then we have, I will skip this one for a moment, centered odd. So we will insert one element in the middle. So this is the one
Start
who is
point.
going to be,
Okay.
yes. Then it's starting to spread every 192 millimeters until in the last 50 millimeters here, I won't insert nothing. So for example, if I put 120 here, you see that here it won't insert it because I don't want to insert nothing in the last 120, okay?
Okay.
So this is the centered odd. The centered even is the same thing, but with the only difference is always compared to the center, but it won't insert it in the center. It will divide the interaxis by 2, and then start.
Reverse. Okay.
Okay. So, for example, here I had, if I want to be sure that if I use Dowelling and eccentrics, and I want to be sure that they they are not going to ever cross themselves. You see here I had the centered odd and the centered even. So they can never cross themselves. Okay?
Okay.
Then we have the centered. This one is practically going according to what is best for him to be turned from centered odd to centered even.
Nice.
So in this case, when you have, for example, or only minifix or only dowels, you can make it centered, so it's going to be arranged accordingly, okay?
Okay.
Otherwise, we have with the step from start, so it will start, I don't know, 20 millimeters from the start, and then every 192 until the last 50 millimeters where I don't want to put nothing, okay?
Start point. Okay.
On the contrary, from end, here it will start from 50, and then in the last 20 millimeters it won't
Stop.
insert nothing, okay?
Nice.
Then we have particular elements here, because from here this is more for manual machinings, because for example you have the manual lateral machining maker machine. So you decide how many holes you want and where you want to overturn this. Practically, you decide the maximum number of holes and where you want to start, because in some cases, for example, you have a lateral machine maker which is 400 millimeters, okay?
Okay.
In deep. So here we have 600. So what do? We create at first the first one, then we turn the panel, and it creates this one like it's here, because we rotated it, okay?
Okay.
Is a complicated part that you are going to use it only if you're forced to use with this kind of machine. So I won't invest a lot of time if you don't use it. Otherwise, there is the holes number, which is the one where we create start, the end, and the number of fittings. So in this case, whether we have a 300 or 600, we are always going to have 3. We have to decide at first, you see the horizontal part, so how deep is going to go, okay?
Okay.
Then it's important also to manage it in the thickness here. So for example, we can decide this to be at 9 or to be always centered. So what does it mean? It means that if here I'm making this 50 millimeters, you see, it's always centered, okay?
Okay.
So it's important for the coordinates, it's important for the position. Then for drillings, it's not like in the groovings where we need to associate the tool number. in the
Okay.
here, as long as you have the diameter, the depth, and in case you can decide if it's a standard drill, etc., the machine will automatically choose the drill to use, okay? Also here, one thing that we can do is to associate, here I need to give you some macros for BS. You can put the macro, for example, for lamello. If you use lamello or ovo, for example, or the cabineo. Okay, so this is the horizontal, the lateral, and this is the vertical. In the vertical, obviously, we can't decide the thickness because it's going to be made according to this, the position, okay? From here, we can decide the depth, the diameter, and as it was for the other one, we don't need to associate the tool because according to the drilling is going to be okay. Obviously, we need to associate the tool if we make the drilling with a groove. If you make it with a normal drill point, it's okay. But if you execute the drill with a groove, for example, even a sort of pocketing, a spiral pocketing, we need, in that case, to associate the tool, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now we make the dowelling. Of course, we have the dowelling on top panel, bottom, partition, stretchers.
Same.
Yes, you can, but for example, obviously for the top panel, you won't use the same interacts that you have for the stretcher because the stretcher are maximum 100 millimeters deep. So you cannot use an 192 millimeters step, okay? Here, for example, they have 32 or whatever it is. From here, we also have the part you see for the shelves. So if you remember, for the shelf dowelling, here we have the same, so we can decide this type of elements. Obviously in here, we won't use the hose number, this element. All the other ones can be used. Also the 4 extreme points doesn't make a lot of sense. You will use the center. And here you have the minimum part in the above, below, and then you have the interaxis, okay?
Good.
Another thing, both here and here, you saw that we also have this part, the holes per group. What does it mean? It means, let's make an example here that we have this, okay. It means that, for example, even for the dowelling, you can make a dowelling every, I don't know, 100 or 200 millimeters, but this one you want to make 3 of them. So what does it mean? It means that it's going to make 3, 3, 3. It can be useful for the fittings of the shelves, I think, maybe. So you can use it in there.